Hello bachcho, let's read this question. The question says, for a given reaction, delta H, that is change in enthalpy, is given as 35.5 kilojoule per mole, and delta S, that is change in entropy, is given as 83.6 joule per Kelvin mole. The reaction is spontaneous at, so we have to find at what temperature the reaction is spontaneous. We have to assume that delta H and delta S do not vary with temperature. So temperature vary जैसे होता है वैसे delta S vary नहीं होता है. So this is our assumption. So based on this, चार options दिए गए हैं. Option A, B, C and D. Option A says T is greater than 298 Kelvin. Option B says T is less than 425 Kelvin. Option C says T is greater than 425 Kelvin. Option D says at all temperatures. तो पहले हम इस क्वेश्चन में इन्वॉल्व हुए की कॉन्सेप्ट को समझते हैं. So जो की कॉन्सेप्ट इन्वॉल्व in this question is we have to find the relationship between delta G and delta H and delta S. So why we have to find this relation? We have to find this relation to determine at what temperature the reaction is spontaneous. So it is related by Gibbs free energy change equation, which is represented by delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. For a reaction to be spontaneous, delta G का वैल्यू हमेशा less than 0 होना चाहिए. So this is the condition. So first we'll write all the given data in the question. So given data from the question are delta H, that is enthalpy change, is given as 35.5 kilojoule per mole. So we can write this in joule per mole, that is 35.5 into 1000 joule per mole. So we have to make sure that all the terms are in same units. So this will be 35,500 joule per mole. So next हमें दिया गया है delta S, which is 83.6 joule per Kelvin mole. So we know the condition of spontaneity. Condition for spontaneity we know, that is delta G should be less than 0, and we know that delta G is nothing but our delta H minus T delta S. So this term should be less than 0. So we'll substitute delta H here and delta S here and try to find out the value of T here. So delta H is 35,500 joule per mole minus T into 83.6 joule Kelvin mole is our delta S. So this term should be less than 0. Now if we rearrange this equation to solve this inequality, to solve for T, it will be T is greater than 35,500 joule per mole divided by 83.6 joule Kelvin mole. So if we solve this, T will become as T greater than 424.64 Kelvin. So the condition, the reaction is spontaneous when T is greater than this value. So the nearest value in the question is 425 Kelvin. So if we round it off, it will be 425 Kelvin only. Therefore, based on this, we can clearly say that option C, where temperature is greater than 425 Kelvin, is the correct answer for this question. Hope you all have understood. All the best.